Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a chatty get ready with me using some new makeup that I have here, but also just talking about like some fun topics revolving the beauty industry, life, just all that good stuff. So please grab your makeup, do your makeup with me, grab your snacks, grab your tequilita, your agüita, whatever it may be, your cafecito, and let's get right to this. We're gonna transform this face right here. But before we get started, I do really want to introduce myself. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Jessica, aka The Mexican Beauty. I make videos on all things beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. I would love for you to go hit that subscribe button down below. Also, please don't forget to hit that notification bell because I'll make sure you never miss a video. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and start off, and we're gonna actually be applying gloss instead of like some lip balm to our lips to just kind of prep them. So I'm gonna be using the new Fenty Beauty Heat in the shade Hot Cherry. This is one of the prettiest summer glosses I've ever used. I've been using this nonstop, and I actually have also been using this to like prep, you know, like when I'm doing my makeup, I'm wearing this because it just gives you honestly that like lip balm consistency where it really does moisturize your lips and preps them so nicely. Oh, you know what else I want to do before I start the eyes? I want to go ahead and just prep the skin. So I'm going to just be using this Herbivore Cloud Jelly Serum. I've been obsessed with this. I think I mentioned this a few times on my channel, but basically it's like a really nice plumping serum, and it just honestly for me, I feel like it leaves my skin so hydrated, and it's such a lightweight product that it sits really nicely on the skin. So I really enjoy it for that aspect of it. Not so sure how much it plumps my skin, just because I mean, I'm only 25, like how much more can I plump at this age? It works really well under makeup. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with our eyes. Today's actually the last day that I have no lash extensions. I'm getting my lash extensions back on tomorrow. I'm just kind of doing my last full glam moment before I, you know, can't put on like falsies and stuff again for a while. I've just been missing my lash extensions. They're just so easy to work with, and they just cut down so much time to get ready, especially like for filming like YouTube videos or like TikTok. And it's so funny because whenever I post TikToks, people are always like, oh my gosh, what lashes are you wearing? And I'm like, these are actually lash extensions, but I can let you know what I asked for when I get them done so you can get them done. But I always get mega volume sets. I get the DD curl, I get 12 through 16. So I really like that like nice, like almost cat eye effect. I also really like the doll eye effect. So I'm all about the lash extension life. But before we just jump into our topics, I do want to go ahead and show you guys what I'm going to be using for the eyes today. So I'm going to be using the new KKW Beauty Camel palette, and it's actually really interesting because KKW Beauty is completely rebranding. Pretty much all of their products are like huge percentage off. So I highly recommend their palettes because they are just so nice and pigmented. This palette's actually beautiful because it has those neutrals, but it also has like some pops of shimmer. So we're just gonna kind of be playing with everything. But I'm just gonna be taking my Makeup by Ariel brushes, which I used in another Get Ready With Me, and I have been obsessed with these brushes, so I highly recommend them. Okay, so somebody asked me, have you heard the news about PFAs in makeup, especially long wearing, and how it's linked to cancer? I was wondering your thoughts on this matter. It's really scary to think about that, honestly, because you know, these are products that like, especially people that are huge makeup enthusiasts or people like me who this is what they, you know, do. They review makeup constantly. It's like, wait, they weren't really like telling us like what brands, and a lot of the products like they mentioned were long wearing makeup products, and that is also very like freaky because I feel like all of us, when we buy makeup product, and a lot of times you guys ask me when I review foundations are like, is it long wearing? Because that's what I need. And like, of course you want something that's long wearing, and then to hear that it could be linked to certain things, it's just scary. Also, another thing that I have read a lot about and that I have put into consideration is that it's not just makeup products, like it's products in our everyday life, makeup or not makeup related, that can be linked to a lot of things, and we just really don't know much information. I know a lot of you guys do a great job of looking at ingredients, and you guys will let me know like, oh, like this product that you're reviewing has this and that. But I think it's so important that a lot of people are doing their research and that they are really informing themselves and watching or educating themselves you know, certain ingredients and certain topics so that they can better understand what they're putting on their skin and face. And I think that's the most important, is like really understanding what you're putting on your face. Also what you're consuming on the inside, because I feel like a lot of the stuff is also what you put into your body. Like foods, for me, I think that's one of the biggest things that I always paid attention to, is like foods. You never know how like toxic certain foods can be for you. And I think that's when I started to really pay attention, for me at least, for like foods, was when I got rosacea. And when I was really clean eating and really cut out a lot of stuff, my skin was like the best it was, my body was the best it was. And I remember I would like do my workouts and I was running a lot and I literally felt so light. And I think it's because what I was putting into my body was all like good food. So I would always say is do your research for yourself. Don't let anybody's opinion sway you, because you just never know. There's so much information out there, and there's information out there that's true, and then there's information out there that could be false. So you just really want to make sure that you find the best information that can help you, you know, decide like what products you want to stay away from or what products you think are good. I do quickly want to talk about what I mentioned in my other Get Ready With Me, where I talked about how I feel like people don't really watch makeup tutorials anymore. And I was actually quite surprised that a lot of you actually said that you guys do enjoy watching tutorials, and that was really nice to hear. I think I will keep incorporating them the way that I am right now, where they're like trying new makeup or just talking about like different topics that you guys may want to like know more about, you know, like having a conversation where you're like, okay, like she talked about this and I can relate to that, so like let me write a comment, or like let me also give my opinion. But now I'm gonna go in with this KVD Dazzle Stick, and I saw this on TikTok and I was like, I need to check this out. So KVD came out with this Dazzle Stick, and they came out with a few of them, and they're literally so pigmented. Let me see if I can show you guys. I'm about to swatch it. Okay, let me swatch. Like, look at that. Do you guys see that? Like, that is stunning. So there's multiple ways where you can apply this. You can directly apply this to the eye like this, or you can apply it to your finger and then apply it to the eye. So I think what I'm gonna start off with is I'm going to just use my finger, and then I'm going to just apply it where I applied the matte eyeshadow from the KVD Beauty palette. And you guys can see how pretty that looks. It's so easy for me to do this right now because I just cut my long nails. They're super short for me. I'm sure that some of you guys are looking at this and are like, girl, that is not short, that is still long. For me, this is short. For me, I look at this and I'm like, girl, whose hands are those? Because these ain't your hands. I literally had a moment the other day where I went to the gas station, put my card in. Y'all know what happens next. I couldn't get the card out. And you know how like at the gas station, it's like insert and remove rapidly. So I could not remove it rapidly. It was stuck in there. I was looking around like a fool. I was like, who am I about to ask to help take out my card? Like, what am I gonna even say? Luckily, there was somebody that was working there, the gas station outside, and I asked him if he could help me, and he was really nice. He helped me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get these nails trimmed because this is my moment. And luckily I had a nail appointment like 2 days later. So I talked to my nail tech, Amanda. If you don't follow my nail tech, Amanda, we always have like these really amazing nail reels that I post. Her Instagram is Amanda Nailed It. And even if you don't live in Maryland, you can just like look at her pictures and like use them for your own like makeup. I mean, not makeup, what am I saying? For your own like nail inspo next time you go get your own nails done, because she is amazing. But yeah, I was like, Amanda, we need to trim these. So we did that, and I miss my long nails. I know that there's like a little tool that you can use for you know, your cards when you are like at the gas station or something like that and you do have really long nails. They sell it on Amazon, but I couldn't find one that I really liked. Another thing I thought about doing was getting tweezers, like bringing my own tweezers and just pulling out the card. And it's funny because the day before that happened to me, I was like, let me do this. Let me put my tweezers in my purse and just carry them with me, and I completely forgot, so I never did it, but I was like, there you go, girl. Okay, so another topic that I want to talk about that's, I guess, like, not like, I mean, it ties into the beauty industry, but just like social media stuff wise, is how are you guys feeling about Instagram becoming more so of a video sharing app and kind of stepping away from too much of their focus being on photos? And I actually asked you guys that on Instagram polls. I want to say maybe about 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And a lot of you guys were like, you know, why change? Did I get it in my shirt? No. Like, why fix something that isn't broken, you know? And I agree. Like, I do feel like from, like, if I wasn't doing social media, I think I personally would be like, what the heck? Because we have all these other platforms where we get video content from. We have YouTube, TikTok, you know, Snapchat's always been like that way too. I don't use Snapchat, but like, I remember when it was so in, and like, I feel like then it just died because so many people were going on Instagram stories, but a lot of people still do use Snapchat. But now Instagram's like, what the F though, you know, because they're trying to compete with the whole TikTok. People are angry because they're like, instead of competing, why don't you just fix the algorithm and make this app what it used to be picture-wise? Because the reason why Instagram's so big is because of the picture sharing content. For me, as a creator perspective, I honestly don't mind it whatsoever because I've always been video creator before anything else. If you look at my Instagram, it's way smaller than my YouTube. So I started posting reels, and I do like Makeup Monday. If you follow me on Instagram, then you see that. I post my Makeup Monday reels, and I love that so much because, like I mentioned, I stopped really focusing heavily on posting tutorials here and more so focused on like review-based content here. So I felt like Instagram Reels was the perfect place for me to, you know, if I wanted to do like a fun little makeup tutorial, I could do it within 30 seconds. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Instagram shifting to more video content and kind of starting to really compete with TikTok and YouTube in a way, because they're really going to focus on not only just the real content, but they're also going to be focusing on their IGTV. I've seen certain creators, like really big influencers, start to use more so of their IGTV a little bit more. And I actually also plan on using my IGTV more. Maybe sometimes I could post something here on YouTube and, you know, shorten it up a bit and post it over there. At the end of the day, Instagram's gonna do them regardless of us just requesting a simple algorithm, like honestly. Going off of the topic of just Instagram and social media, I wanna hear your thoughts. This is something that I've actually been wanting to like talk about and hear your thoughts on. What are your thoughts on filters? Like on stories or like on pictures on Instagram, just the filters. And when I talk about filters, I don't mean like the filters of like changing the color slightly. I mean like the filters that they have on stories where like you literally look filtered. I personally feel like I see the both sides of it. I think that filters can be fun depending on which ones you use. Obviously there's some that literally transform your face and you're like, what is going on? This is not me. But I also think that I can see how they can really mess with people because, you know, you remove that filter and it's like, holy shiz, is this what I really look like? Like, do I really look like this? So I can totally see like both sides of the spectrum. I use them on my stories. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't use filters, like the fun little cute filters. I use them. I feel like Instagram's just a very like picture perfect app. And that's the only thing that I do have to say that I think some good may come out of it for, you know, them moving to more organic like video content is because you're gonna see the real in people. You're not gonna see like aesthetically pleasing things anymore because, I mean, look at TikTok. TikTok is not an aesthetically pleasing app. It's like you literally get the raw, the authentic, and the real. For so long, Instagram has always been like that, just like perfect real. You know, like you share like all the perfect. And I think that's why people use the filters. And when I first started doing the reels, I would just use like a little bit of a smoothing filter to just make my skin look more perfected. And then as I started to make more reels, I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like in order for me to really share really good raw content, I'm gonna use my own skin. So all of my content where I do like the little makeup applications, or also now when I'm doing like my makeup tutorials on Instagram Reels, it's literally just me and my authentic skin. I'm like, what you see is what you get. And at the end of the day, this is what I look like. Like in person, if you meet me, I'm not gonna be wearing a filter. I'm gonna be looking like this. I think that the filters definitely do have their time and their place. I don't see anything wrong with using filters like in a story, or like if you're just chatting, you just kind of want to have a filter over your skin because you may not feel the best. Why not do it? And not all of the filters are like face transforming. Like some of them are super, super subtle, but I do think that for me personally, I prefer to just do my reels, or like if I were to post an IGTV, it wouldn't have any filters on it. On here, on YouTube, I've never posted a video with a filter on my skin. And I remember it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago that I found out that you could put filters on your like cameras. I don't even know how to do it on this camera. I have a Canon EOS R and I have no idea how to put a filter or something on it. And when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? Like you can put a filter on like a DSLR? But I'm pretty sure you can do that. And like also like on vlogging cameras, I know people do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do for your videos, that's completely fine. Everybody has the right to do whatever they want. I just never knew that I could do that. And I also feel like if I'm gonna be showing you how I apply, especially because I do a lot of foundation reviews, so I'm gonna show you how I apply my makeup, I want you to see like my skin. And I think that one of the reasons why I am like that is because when I was first starting my channel, like in the earlier years, was when I developed rosacea, and there was no way, no filter that was gonna hide my rosacea. Even if I did have a filter on, you would still see my super bright cheeks. So like, why hide it, you know? So I think that I was just like, you know what, this is what you get. Another thing is I do also really appreciate that brands have been doing a better job of working with influencers that have, you know, normal skin. It's never gonna be picture perfect. And I think it's so important and it's so good that we're stepping away from like how they used to do like advertising where the skin was so airbrushed and so perfect. And now it's just like showing the before and after of like the real, the authentic, and the raw. And one of the reasons why I love IT Cosmetics is because they were like the first brand that I saw that did that really focused on showing real people with real issues, with real like skin concerns and conditions. And it makes people like me, especially when I had my really, really, really bad rosacea flare-ups, feel like there was a place and a space for me to feel welcomed into the beauty communities. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this RIMMEL London Wonder Extension, and I actually purchased this because of TikTok. So I saw somebody talk about how amazing this made their lashes look. For me, it doesn't really do much because I have tiny, tiny lashes and they're so straight. But on this girl that I saw on TikTok, her lashes were already naturally long and it literally looked like she had extensions. So I, for some reason, was like, that's gonna be me too, but it was not me. So I'm gonna be using this new e.l.f. Acne Fighting Putty Primer. This was actually sent to me by e.l.f. Love the e.l.f. fam. So I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator. I'm gonna be using the applicator side, not the brush side. Ooh, that was so, did you guys see how smooth that was? Look at that. Just really put that product on there. I don't really suffer from acne. It's like what I mainly suffer from is rosacea, but I do appreciate the fact that it does make my skin feel really smooth right now. And also I really love the fact that it has that green tint. Okay, so now I'm gonna be taking the Dermablend CC Cream. I have been really enjoying this. This one is in the shade 43N Medium 3. Acne Fighting Putty Primer is so nice. It's super smooth and I feel like it really does leave my skin nice and smooth. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hope that this CC cream applies great on top of it. I love the CC cream, so I'm expecting it to do really well with the e.l.f. primer. Okay, so now we're gonna move into our last topic, which is talking about just kind of like, I guess like budgeting in a way. My name is Jennifer, and she just asked that as a Latina, she was never taught to save because we were living paycheck to paycheck, and now talking to her husband, we've been able to save for a down payment for a car and are currently working on saving for a home and being semi-strict with our spending. But before, we were both bad with money until we had a common goal to build a life together. It would be easier if we had done smart money moves in our younger days, but we spent money over our means. How has this been for you? So I personally am 25 right now, and I have to say, if there's one thing that I pride myself with, it's my spending habit. It's really important to budget what you're gonna spend. I think the first thing is really tackling, you know, your bills or like the debts that you may have to put money towards every month, or like, you know, whatever it may be, because essentially that's what's gonna create your credit and your credit score. And it's actually so interesting because I was talking to one of my best friends, and she's actually a teacher, and she teaches high school students, and she was like, we were both talking about this, how like it's insane that like the simple things that you wish that you were taught in high school or like even in middle school, you're not. And it's like you kind of have to learn that for yourself as you get older, like taxes, like just everything else. Like you don't really learn about that until you're like on your own. I don't know how to build your credit score or like what a credit score is. Most people don't even know how to check their credit score. And it's so important to like know those things, because those are the things that are going to establish your credit, and those are things that are going to help you when you do want to purchase a house, when you do want to purchase a car, or when you do want to lease a place. Like those things are so essential. So I think it's just really learning to start. It's never too early to start. And I know that it's hard, especially when you're living paycheck by paycheck. It's hard to like want to save or be able to save because there's bills that you have to take care of. And I can only imagine how much harder it gets when you do have children, which is why I'm 25 and I'm like, I don't see kids in my near future. And never say never, because you know, you can plan and then God has completely different plans for you. But I just feel like for me first right now, I'm like, I'm trying to create my career. I'm trying to establish what I want to do in life. And I think that's why there's so much pressure, I feel like, being in your 20s to like really have a lot going for yourself, when this is really the years of discovery. And this is the years where a lot of people make mistakes, and like, you know, they perhaps didn't save as much as they wanted to until they're in their 30s, but I don't think it's never too late to start saving. I think that it's important also to realize not to be so hard on yourself. Yes, perhaps you didn't save money in your earlier days, you were living paycheck to paycheck, it was much harder, but don't be too hard on yourself. You know, you're at this point now, and you just have to pat yourself on the back for the fact that right now you're saving towards what you want, and you're doing the things that you're working towards, you know? And I think that's another thing that people like freak out about when it comes to saving, is they think that they have to save like their whole paycheck. No, sometimes just, I can't tell you enough, like saving literally like $10 can make the biggest difference if you were like to save it once a month or like every week. Like it doesn't matter how small it is or how big it is, like it will make a difference if you're continuously saving that money. Also, I think that like if you have like a passion, or like let's say that like you're really good at making something, or you're really good, there's something that you really are passionate about that you could make into like a side hustle, like you have a hobby, you could like sell it on Etsy or like something like that and make extra cash. The most important thing, honestly, is living within your means. Also prepare for a rainy day, because you never know when you can have a flat tire or all your tires could be messed up and you need to buy all 4 tires, and we all know that buying tires ain't cheap. I want to use this e.l.f. putty bronzer in the shade Tan Lines, and I'm going to be applying this all over. And then the last question I'm going to answer along the lines of more personal aspect of life is one that I had saved here. Okay, how do you deal with verbally abusive parents but don't have the funds to move out? So I think it kind of ties into the other question, because it revolves, I guess, around money. But I would say make a plan. I'm not sure if you have a job or not, but obviously you want, or you will have to have a stream of income so that you can move out and live on your own. But I would say make sure you have a job, plan out a time frame of when you want to move out, so that it like really makes it real for you, that like you have a goal to meet and you can do it. Save your money, surround yourself by really good friends or family members who are really supportive and can be there for you during the rough moments. Start looking in the areas where maybe you want to live. Kind of start to have an idea of how much you need, how much you want to budget, so that you can afford the place that you're going to be living at. That would be my advice. But guess what? Us right here, this familia that we have going on here on Instagram, YouTube, we're always here for you, girl, so you got this. Okay, so now I'm gonna be going in with the Viral Dior blush. This one is in the shade Pink, and I've used this a few times already. And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it right here. Now we're just gonna do a little bit of highlighter. I think I'm gonna use my Jacqueline highlighter. I'm gonna just do a pinch of this. This one is in the shade Iced. This is the accent highlighter. I know today they launched, well, it won't be today to you guys, but for me today, they just launched their summer collection, and people feel very, very different about it because of the bronzer shade range. And I totally see where they're coming from. I mean, if I were any brand, not even just Jacqueline Cosmetics, if I was just coming out with like a limited edition collection, I wouldn't even bother coming out with a product that I couldn't offer shades for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised she didn't come out with a palette, like an eyeshadow palette. I feel like that's what I was expecting from her. Using Sweet Tea lip liner. This lip liner is so good, and it's only $5. So I'm just going in and I'm lining my lips. So I have the 3 lippies from KKW Beauty. I actually did a swatch lip tutorial over on my TikTok if you guys want to watch it, the Mexican Beauty. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the darkest color in the shade Warriors. So these are the semi-matte liquid lipsticks by KKW Beauty. These are literally incredible. So comfortable. They remind me a lot of the NYX soft lip creams, except these are like a more like better version in my opinion than those. These are just so moisturizing, but they really do a beautiful job of staying on the lips. And voila. So I literally just went ahead and curled my hair because I was like, I need to do something in my hair because I just want to spice things up to really complete this look. I really did enjoy sitting down and doing my makeup with you guys, but also talking about like interesting things. I feel like this kind of allows you to kind of see my opinion on things and perhaps like get to know me a little bit better, and also for us to have like almost like a discussion, because now I want you guys to share what you think of the things that I talked about today down below in the comment section. I love interacting with you guys. So if you guys have any other topics you would love for me to talk about in a future Get Ready With Me where I talk about topics, then please go ahead and leave it down below, because that will really be great so that we have more things to talk about. That's all I have. So don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.